along with Jason Souls, and we got a full packed show for you here this afternoon. Hey, if you're in the Marshall, Texas area, sitting at your office at lunch and need a place to eat, come on down to CC's in Marshall, Texas. The special during the E2 Extra show is for $5. That includes the buffet, including the drink. So come on out to CC's. Hell, I'm Mike Minkoff, as I said, along with Jason Souls, my broadcast partner in the booth on home games at Ornella Stadium. Of course, last Saturday night, the ETBU Tigers won their second game of the season, defeating Southwestern by a final score of 58-34. And we have two players from the team we're going to start off talking to first. We have a junior from Hallsville, Texas, Mr. Josh Warmington, and a freshman linebacker from Gilmer, Texas, Dylan Bowman. Now, I'm going to start with Dylan first. Dylan, I was thinking about you being from Gilmer. What's the atmosphere like at a Gilmer Buckeye game as compared to an ETBU home football game?
Well, it's a lot different. I mean, the home side is always completely packed, and we also have a visitor side that's usually completely packed. But, I mean, overall, the fans both get into it about the same.
Pretty crazy at Ornella Stadium.
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, in the ball game, you had an excellent night for a freshman. It's only your third collegiate game to play in, but you had 6 tackles, you forced 2 fumbles, an interception, 1 fumble recovery, and had 1 pass breakup. What kind of football were you playing Saturday night?
I don't know. My coaches just put me in a good position, and I was able to go out there and make the plays I needed to make.
I'm curious, being a freshman, how was the transition moving from high school football from Gilmer to college football?
It's a lot different. I mean, in college, everybody's good. I mean, you don't have those weak links like you do in high school. Like in college, I mean, everybody has a solid team. There's no bad teams in college.
What do you know about your opponent coming up Saturday night in Millsaps? What have you been studying on film and stuff?
They're a good team. They're able to run the ball really well, and we're going to have to go out this week and we're going to have to play some good football if we want to win.
Speaking with Dylan Bowman from East Texas Baptist University, on the defensive side, Saturday night, as we mentioned, he had 6 tackles in that win against Southwestern. And Dylan, final question. What brought you to ETBU? Why were you interested in coming to play for the Tigers?
Well, initially I came here to play baseball, and then I was off football for a year, and I missed it a lot, and I wasn't ready to go another year without playing. So I came to talk to Coach Ergel, and he said I had a spot on the team to come try out. So I did, and now I'm here.
Well, Dylan, we hope you have a great game this Saturday against Millsaps. Thank you for stopping by today on E2 Extra and talking to us. Now we're going to turn over and talk to the quarterback of the ETB Tigers, Josh Warmington. Josh's name should sound familiar for those folks in East Texas. He played his high school football at Hallsville, a Bobcat, and they're doing pretty well, your high school team. Do you still keep up with them?
Yes, sir, I do. I went to the first home game and got to see them win against Carthage, which was a very big win for them. They had a tough loss against NAC the second week by a last-second field goal, but and then they won their third game. So I've been keeping track with them and keeping in touch with some of my friends I had that were freshmen when I was a senior.
I think I know the answer to the next question. In high school football in East Texas Friday night, district play starts off with the Hallsville Bobcats, and they play the Marshall Mavericks. So I'm going to ask you, who's going to win that game Friday night?
Hallsville Bobcats all the way.
I thought you would say that, being a former Hallsville Bobcat yourself. Well, Josh, let's kind of talk about the ETB Tiger football program. Being a junior, getting a place to start as quarterback last year, how different of a transition was it for you when you came from high school to college to play football?
Oh, it's a very big difference. Going from high school, everybody's pretty great, good. Going into college, everybody has that speed. Everybody has the big and thickness, and everybody has the ability to make plays. In high school, you can get away with some of the little things of throwing across the middle, and see, in college, you can't. And I've had to learn that the hard way already this year. And so just the difference in speed and ability is the biggest thing.
Thank you this afternoon for clicking in to E2 Extra here on the ETBU Sportsnet, visiting with Dylan Bowman and Josh Warmington, the ETBU Tiger football team. And Josh, in the game Saturday night in which the Tigers won over Southwestern, your first half, numbers-wise, didn't go very well, but in the second half, you pulled it through, and the Tigers blanked him in the third quarter. Kind of what was going on with the team against Southwestern this past Saturday?
They came out straight cover zero blitz the whole first half, and we just had pressure, and I just couldn't get the ball out right, and I couldn't get it to the receivers, and I missed a couple throws, and we had a couple drops, and just some stuff that we did had to correct in the second half. Our rushing attack was there in the first half, and as well as the second half. So we just kept to it. And second half we came out and we hit them with a couple of good long throws, and we started hitting them across the middle more. And so it finally opened up for our run game back, and we had a great rushing attack, and that's what helped us win the ball game.
As a quarterback in the Tiger offense, how easy is it to throw to your receivers, Tyler Bates and the whole crew, Alfred and the rest of them? Is it pretty easy?
Yes, sir, it is. I mean, they have great speed. I have to get the ball out of my hands quickly and just let them go get it. I have to be on time. I have to be accurate. You got to do all the necessary things that you do as a quarterback, but throwing to them is we have some of the best receivers in the nation all on one team, and it's always hard to just pick one receiver to throw it to him. So it's hard to sometimes spread the ball out, and so especially like when we have deep passes called and stuff like that, because it's always the first read, and most of the time they're in a man coverage, and we always have them beat, and so I just air it out, and we always have the guy to make the play.
Of course, I asked this question to Dylan Bowman, your teammate on defense, about what was it like moving from Gilmore High School, playing in Ornelas Stadium, the type of atmosphere. What is the atmosphere for you as you compare and contrast at Bobcat Stadium as compared to playing in Ornelas Stadium?
Oh, it's just Hallsville is all the fans are there just yelling, screaming, and it's the same as Ornelas. It's more of at Ornelas, it's more of like students getting into the game and stuff. As much as high school at Hallsville, it's more of the parents and stuff getting into it, and so it's just, especially with Ornelas, you got the baseball team and some of the other football players on the back of the end zone just rooting you on. So it just creates that college football liveliness, and it's just a great atmosphere to play in.
As you face Millsap this Saturday night at 6 p.m. at Ornelas Stadium, your third home game in a row. What's the scouting report on the team that you're facing?
Oh, they're very physical. They all run to the ball very well. They run some good coverage, cover 4 and cover 6 and stuff, so we have to prepare for it. Their D-line is the heart of their defense, and we have to control them, and we have to get the tempo going and tire them out and get them where they can't get lined up, and so we can snap the ball faster and then get the ball out to the perimeter to the playmakers and let them hopefully win the game for us.
Dylan Bowman and Josh Worthington has been our guest here on the ETBU Extra. We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk with the head coach of the ETBU Tigers, Joshua Ergel. Josh and Dylan, thank you for your time this afternoon here at CC's Pizza in Marshall. And as we take a break and we come back, we will talk with the head coach of the ETBU Tigers. We'll talk about last week's game against Southwestern. Also bring in Jason Souls in as well to ask a few questions, and we'll talk about the game ahead Saturday night in Ornelas. You're listening to ETBU Extra on the ETBU Sportsnet. Back in just a moment.
This is Matt Moore, General Manager of Marshall Ford Lincoln, inviting you